Many students are heading back to college this week after spring break. The risk of developing illnesses may increase. There's some outbreaks across college campuses in a lot of areas, and a lot of parents are very nervous these days. So Dr. John Vinglarczyk is here this morning. He's an infectious disease specialist in our valley who's been here for over 30 years. And every time we have questions about infectious diseases, we call on you, Dr. Vinglarczyk. You know, parents are hearing this. There were 23 cases yesterday. I believe 5 more confirmed cases of mumps at OSU. Parents think their kids are immunized when they send them away to school.
Well, they do. This MMR is really a legacy of Andrew Wakefield and his fraudulent research in the late 90s, where he associated the MMR vaccine with autism. And there's clearly no association. Anybody that needs more information, I would guide them to the CDC website, where there's just a wealth of information. What happened is people dropped down on giving MMR. We need about 92% of a student population to be immune to mumps to create something called herd immunity. And we know those numbers are not at 92%. They've dropped down into the low to mid 80s. So what we have is a number of kids going on the campus. Some are susceptible, and what we're seeing happen, kids are going to Europe. These diseases still spread in Europe. So kids are going to Europe, they come back, and then they inoculate the campus. The mumps vaccine has got about a 16-day incubation period. So, you know, you could come for a college spring break, and by the time you break out, you're back at your college again inoculating other people. So it's the fact that mumps can take a long time to become contagious again in the second person and show disease.
Right, and not all of the people at OSU were students or staff members. Some were family members and other people who were a little more removed from the university setting, but still had some kind of contact.
Right, and it's spread by respiratory routes. So you really just have to be somebody around that's coughing or doing what families do, share food, or, you know, if you have a handles, oh, like this ice cream, take a taste. I mean, that's how this disease is spread.
Okay, if your child is 19 or 20 years old in their second or third year of college, is it too late to get them vaccinated if you chose before not to do that?
No. It's necessary that you get 2 MMRs. That's measles, mumps, and rubella. Rubella is German measles, regular measles, and then mumps. And you need 2 of those vaccines 28 days apart to have 100% immunity. So first what they need to do is, did they get a vaccine when they were about 18 months of age? If they didn't have the 4 to 6-year-old booster, they need another booster, and that should be fine. If they never got it, then they're going to need 2 doses about a month apart. Most children have had 1 or they wouldn't get into school. So most of these kids are going to need an MMR booster, which is available at your pediatrician, your family practice, your internist's office, or any student health center. And I'm sure at Ohio State, with the medical school down there, those kind of things are easily available.
Last question. We don't only have to worry about mumps. There were meningitis problems at Princeton, where they had to bring in a vaccine that wasn't completely, I think, approved or whatever.
Correct.
There was a meningitis death at Drexel, a girl from Pittsburgh who died right in her sorority house. I mean, this scares parents. What do they need to be aware of?
Well, there's a vaccine called meningococcal vaccine, which is for a disease we know as spinal meningitis. That vaccine is to be given at about 11 and 12 with a booster at 16. Those kids that aren't getting it at 16, because there's not a standard doctor visit at 16, need to get it before they go to college. So a parent who's looking at their child going off to college needs to make sure they've had an MMR, they've had their meningococcal vaccine, and they had their diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis booster. Those 3 are critical for your child being healthier in college.
Thank you so much. All great information this morning. We're going to head back over to Damon for more. Thank you.